9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
Hello there. Welcome once again. It is Exiles TV. Bill Profita here, and yes, I'm back from a week of R&R. I'm Kevin Gallagher.
You look very ard.
I had some R and some other R and
Double R?
I had some a few more R's, so it was kind of
Talk like a pirate day. So
didn't really do much of anything. Just relaxed and enjoyed ourselves.
went up to Natchez, right?
Yeah, we spent some time with family and got to talk to some of the family and stuff. But mostly just watch movies, read books, blah blah blah.
Just relaxed a little bit.
Yeah,
nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. So as you get up into the hills and a little further north, are the leaves changing at all yet?
Well, I don't know. You mean in Natchez?
Yeah.
Natchez isn't far enough away to make a difference.
Well, people used to tell me that the Felicianas is far enough away and the change in elevation.
What, from Baton Rouge?
This is what I'm told. That's why I asked.
I saw no evidence in that. You know, I mean, what I always noticed living in the South, and I love the South, but the leaves go from, they don't do that wonderful change where they're, yellow, and then shades of red, and, wonderful flaming colors. They're green one day, they're brown the next, and then they fall off the tree.
Yeah, they go from green to dead.
Yeah, to dead.
to in my yard and my patio, so I gotta blow 'em with the leaf blower.
So there you go. I did talk to relatives from back home in the great state of Pennsylvania, and they say, yeah, the colors are incredible at this time of year.
Well, we are getting, because we had that extended spring, we're getting an early fall, which is kind of interesting. I mean, I'm just loving the temperatures that we're having right now.
Yeah, it was pretty pleasant. You know, I actually, some point during the night, reached down and pulled the duvet cover up, you know, because we usually just, sleep under sheets. But
so what are you wearing?
It's a little bit chilly, so I just kind of pulled the duvet cover up. Got a little extra warmth going on.
My wife likes it to be a great deal like Duluth, Minnesota at night.
Yeah? She like jack the AC down at night?
Yeah, she sets it to freeze.
Hey, whatever makes Mama happy.
I have to roll myself up in the blankets.
As we speak, and Bill and I were surprised, this morning was the first I'd heard of it.
Wow.
As we speak, should I even tell them? Because they'll change the channel. There's a televised...
Will they?
Maybe. There is a televised mayoral candidates forum.
Well, wait a minute. It's not even being like really televised.
It's a Webby thing.
Boy, this is some CS.
Is LPB not even putting this on their channel?
Well, I think they've got important programming on. This is where they do their
important programming.
This is where they do their good children's programming.
God forbid you miss another episode of Caillou.
Yeah, I mean, they're doing real stuff here. But yeah, we were blown away by this. Okay, so candidates for mayor president are right now engaging in a forum. They probably just all got introduced and walked out and shook hands and all that type of thing. But it's going to be on theadvocate.com and on lpb.org. Why don't you pull up advocate.com and see what it looks like?
Let's see how long it takes to load this page.
Yeah, it's going to take a while. Current mayor, president Sharon Weston Broome will participate. Former State Representative Steve Carter, Attorney E. Eric Gerard, State Representative Denise Marcel, Metro Councilman Matt Watson, and businessman Jordan Piazza are all participating. And, of course, the election is November 3rd.
Right. 35 days.
But, I mean, who's got time to do this in the middle of the day?
Well, they do. I imagine Her Honor at 10 o'clock in the morning is not all that busy most of the time.
Well, I mean, but here's the deal. You're going to have the presidential debate tonight, right?
Yes.
Why
Well,
not?
that's the theory anyway.
Why not block it out? Why not block it out and do it maybe from 6:30 to 7:30? I'll bet you the TV station said, nah.
Well, if I were, I don't know. I don't know. If I were Channel 9, Channel 2, certainly I'd want to slice off a piece of this.
LPB gets all up in these kind of things, and they probably don't want to interrupt their regular programming in fringe or early prime. But I mean, what kind of I think if you're going to do one of these, you go ahead and televise it.
Let's see if
You
it's
don't-
up and running.
Yeah, you don't stream it. I think you actually televise it would be what I would think. But
Wow. Dude, I'm still trying to get this thing to load.
all right, well, let me go to lpb.org and see what theirs looks like.
Oh, look at
Oh,
that.
there it is.
There's Jordan Piazza talking.
So Jordan is doing his opening.
Yeah, well, they're up and running. So, I mean, it looks like that's what we're doing is we're doing the introductory.
Don't leave us. It's more fun being with us and making fun of it than it is actually going to that.
Now I wish we had an audio feed coming off the computer. We could just listen in. We could, make fun of it as they...
They'd get all butthurt about that.
Yeah, they would.
You stole our right.
That's what gets me about this presidential or this mayor president race is that the candidates are seeming to take it personally, and I don't mean the crap from their fellow candidates, because you should expect that if you're going to run for office.
I mean that's part
Mud
of the
is
deal.
going to be slung, but I've noticed some of the candidates that if you make a negative comment or a question about them on social media, they'll jump right in. And they'll get all, well, there's E. Eric Gayrard. I see he's in his uniform.
Is he in his T-shirt?
This is televised. It's on the web. He's wearing an E. Eric Gayrard T-shirt.
Oh, joy.
I think there are some times when you should dress to show people you're serious.
But he's not.
Well,
And you can take that as
that's a good question. We had him on the program, and it would have been an impertinent question, but it's like, dude, are you serious? Do you really want to win this thing, or are you just running for something to do?
Now, I enjoyed having him on.
Trying to increase. Well, yeah, he's always interesting.
But here's the thing. At least 5 times during our Morning Exiles podcast, and at least 4 times on this telecast, I looked at him and said, you do understand the mayor-president does not control that.
And he said, yeah.
You
Everybody-
do understand that.
Yeah, they all say that, but they seem to think that because they would be the mayor president that
Well, I'll be a
they'd
cheerleader
in some
for it.
kind of cheerleader bully pulpit role where the school board would just want to fall prostrate at their feet and ask them what to do. Prostrate.
But I mean, he had the whole thing about consolidating the
Oh,
sheriff's
look, there's
department.
Andre Moreau. He got a gig.
Consolidating the sheriff's department with BRPD. That's not the mayor's call. The sheriff is a constitutional office, runs in his own election. Defunding the school board, they're their own taxing authority. You can't do that either. So this man has a law degree. He has managed to successfully run a legal practice.
Sure.
Nobody is that stupid. It's great free publicity for his law firm.
Well, we're going to go to break, take care of a little business right now, and we'll keep an eye on this thing. I would love to be able to tune in and listen.
And
but
when
I
we
guess
come back,
you'll be able to watch it later.
yeah, I want to talk to you and our audience about how much have you seen, because boy, this has been the hidden election cycle.
This much is true. We're going to talk about it on the other side. Right now, quick break for commercials. We'll be right back with Exiles TV.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent. Depend on us for service, for selection, for price. Get huge Whirlpool savings. Shop now and save on Whirlpool appliances throughout the store. Plus, experience our price match guarantee and ask about special financing. You can depend on the know-how of people who live appliances every day. Bolello's Furniture and Appliances. Your dependable independent with nationwide buying power.
Hey now, give it your best, put the broken lies to rest. Look up to the skies, I see desire in your eyes, but you can't keep it in your heart. 'Cause misery loves company. 'Cause misery loves company. Cold and hungry like a dog in the street. I get a raw deal every one.
Welcome back, Exiles TV. Glad to have you along with us this morning. He's back. He's rested. He's ready to serve. Vote Kevin Gallagher, number
That's right.
21 on the ballot.
By the way, I heard this morning they're moving the early voting place right down the street here on Coursey Boulevard, where I early vote in my district. They're moving it because they're concerned about social distancing. So, because people, I guess, can't stand 6 feet apart in a line.
Well, from what I've been seeing in that building for the last 20 years, they've observed social distancing. There's never anybody in it.
I have the last gubernatorial election, Marianne and I came in to early vote, and we had to stand in line for about 10 minutes. The line moved and moved and moved.
Yes,
And they kept the line moving. And the last time I went in there to early vote was under COVID-19. It was the spring election, and there was I didn't see any problem with it. Of course, it was a spring election, so crappy turnout.
Yeah.
But they had huge sheets of plexiglass and everything to keep the polling commissioners separate from the voters, and I thought that the precautions were pretty good. But they're moving it to
What's funny is that
the Breck Park on South Harrell's Ferry.
most of the polling commissioners are so elderly. It's kind of fun to watch them face plant on that plexiglass. They forget it's there. But
Hey,
used
that'll
to
be me someday.
It
So.
used to be called Court Plaza. Now it's called Investar Tower. But it was the building was originally owned by the clerk of court's office.
No, they don't. They haven't done it there in a long, long time.
Where do they do it?
They used to do it at the clerk of court's office on the second floor, right across the street at what's now called Investar Tower.
Yeah.
It's at
Home
the-
of Doug's
It's at
Doug's
the
man cave.
Fire department, farther down Coursey here at the corner of South Park Drive. Okay? But now they're moving it to the Breck Park on South Harrell's Ferry over by Millerville. Are you following the way we've drifted?
I am following. I am following. Look, speaking of following, I have only seen one mayoral candidate's television commercial, and that would be Representative Marcel. I've seen it twice. It's the same commercial. Have you seen anything for Steve Carter?
No.
Have you seen anything for
The mayor.
The mayor?
I
No.
don't think she needs to. I think that this is basically her race to lose.
He is advertising his law firm. He's not spending any money advertising his candidacy. I don't think Jordan Piazza has started his television run yet.
No,
I've not seen
he's
it.
heavy on social media,
I have not
including
seen
some
a Matt
pre-produced
Watson TV spot.
stuff. I haven't seen anything outside of social media for Matt Watson, but I haven't seen anything for the mayor.
I suspect it's difficult to raise money right now.
Oh yeah.
And the one who raised the most money the earliest was Tara Wicker. With some of these big dogs like Lane Grigsby with his Cajun Pack and some of these others tossing a lot of money to her, which I guess she's had to give back to them since she is not running in this election. But when do you? Steve Carter, who has always been a good friend of our program, he's always come on when he was in the in the legislature to explain his position on things. And he's come on to announce his candidacy for mayor. And he is normally very, very dynamic with media. I have seen nothing from him.
Well, as you know, having spent some time, in the ad and PR business yourself, media is very costly. It's probably more costly now than it's ever been.
Except for Exiles TV, which is a bargain.
Very,
Call me.
very
I'll
reasonable.
explain it to you.
Yeah. And we have, by the way, you candidates, we do have a wonderful rate sheet for politicals where you could get a lot of bang for your buck. So call us.
But anyway, you were saying.
What I was saying is I think it's tough for them to raise money, and it costs a lot of money to put ads on television, especially. And I think you're going to see a lot more candidates, not only in local races but other races as well, leaning on social media because it's free.
Well, and I used to do media for political candidates. I did them all over the South. And now I wasn't a campaign manager. I wasn't a campaign strategist. I just did media. And here's what I think you may see. When it's tough to raise money or you got a whole lot of candidates in,
Yeah.
they wait. And what happens is, in the last 2 weeks, they are all on. They're back to back to back to back to back, and nobody remembers what they saw. What I used to try to tell people to do is do yours first. Get out there heavy, and then just a little tiny bit all the way along. But
Get your strong message out early and then reinforce the message as you get closer.
But like one council district has got like 4 different people running for it. There's another one that has 5, I think. Now, if they all wait to do their radio or their television till the very last minute, you are not going to be able to tell who is who and who convinced you and who didn't, because it's going to be like the injury attorneys, where they're running back to back to back to back.
Yeah. Spencer Babcock,
Well, I saw a commercial.
Gerard.
Yeah, now
Dudley, DeBoer.
hey, look, I'm not saying that they don't have a right to do this, and I'm not saying that the television station should turn them down. But I saw in one spot break in prime time the other night, I saw Spencer Callahan with his little 10-second run-ins, which I think are wonderful, okay? Followed by Dudley DeBosier, followed by Stephen Babcock, followed by Peyton Murphy, followed by Gordon. Now, there is also, I don't know if you've seen this, I really like some of the things that a lot of these people do. I like Gordon talking about how he hires attorneys that used to work for big insurance companies.
Saw that commercial.
See, that's smart. And I like Spencer Callahan with you're watching the Oscars, or you're watching NFL, or you're watching NCAA. I think.
By the way, Stephen Babcock, lose the dog.
No.
Lose the dog.
Keep the dog. The dog does a good job. You? But anyway, but there was a Spencer Callahan thing that ran Sunday night that was weird. He was in almost like, what do you call it, a Jugaloo mask? I'm not kidding. And he had his voice altered. And he said, yeah, I'm Spencer, somebody, you're watching something or other on something. And I don't know if that was an outtake that made it to the air by accident. It was frightening. It creeped me out.
Is that because it's Halloween time?
Woo.
In 34 days?
Kind of pushing that one.
Yikes.
But I think he was, I think Spencer's
crazy.
been very ingenious with the little 10-second hits.
It sounds to me like, and look, it's his money. He can spend it any way he wants, and God bless him for spending it. Because the money spent by these attorneys on ad revenue pays people's salaries and keeps people bringing home the bacon to their wives and their children.
And they're keeping the TV stations open right now, folks.
But
No doubt
sometimes I think
about it.
these guys get a little self-indulgent. You remember during the Super Bowl, one of the lawyers ran a 30-second ad, and what's the Super Bowl ad locally? $20K for 30?
Oh, more than that.
$30K for 30?
Yeah.
It's to wish his dog a happy birthday.
Yeah.
30-second ad revenue time to remind everybody that his dog was a year older.
Yeah.
It's like, you're a little self-indulgent.
Your dog knows where your law firm is.
Yeah.
But I just, I find some of this stuff kind of interesting right now. If we go back to the candidates, that I am not seeing or hearing any electronic media. I'm seeing some billboards. I'm seeing some yard signs. But I'm not seeing, and I always told candidates, they'd say, I got 1 million yard signs. That's great. Birds will land on them. Birds will poop on them. That's wonderful. And all your neighbors are taking, I'll put one up. They already going to vote for you. I said, but you know what you buy when you get something that goes through the air? And they said, what? I said, credibility. Because most people in these United States think, oh my God, he's got a lot of money behind him if he's on radio and TV.
You know what? In just a minute, I'm going to share with you the ones that don't work on me. And maybe I have a jaundiced eye because I'm in broadcasting or worked for 35 years in broadcasting.
Oh, and then can I go after you? Can I?
But I'm going to tell you as a voter what I think doesn't work on me, and can only imagine there are other people like me. And yes, absolutely.
Can I please?
Let's take a quick break.
Can I
we'll be right
name names?
back. Yeah. Exiles TV, coming right back.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to greystonecountryclub.com.
From appetizers, pasta dishes, and entrees, La Cantea takes pride in preparing all the Italian cuisine we know you love. Enjoy live music every Thursday through Saturday from 6 to 9, happy hour weekdays from 3 to 6, and brunch on Sundays from 11 to 2, as well as dinner portion-sized lunch specials for under $10. Visit our website to view our menu and book a party or meeting in our large banquet room. Once you try La Cantea, your Italian dining will change forever.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
For Total Home Pest Control, who are you going to call?
Call the Bug Man, 923-BUGS.
For total pest control for your home or business, call the original Salvat.
Call the Bug Man today, 923-BUGS.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
We're back, Exiles TV. So glad to have you with us. He's Bill, and I'm Kevin. Back from a week of R&R, and I enjoyed watching the show. By the way, I did get to watch the show last week. You and Karen, and
yeah,
you were flying solo Thursday. What was up with that?
Karen had another gig she had to attend to.
And Borghardt didn't want to come in, or was he busy defending a criminal?
I think there was some miscent that needed his services.
Oh, well, he does have a job to
but
do.
we had other people on the show. So
The shows were enjoyable.
Yeah.
I enjoyed them. And okay, tease this before the break. Campaign ads and campaign ad money. Now, I got to think that there's got to be people like me, that I'm not the only one. So if you want to get in on the conversation, we'll have Jonathan and Katie put up the phone number on the screen here. But what doesn't work for you? What is absolutely useless in swaying your vote as far as campaign advertisements? And think about all the many forms they take. Bill mentioned it before the break. Push signs in the lawn. I don't care if they're at the corner of Sherwood Forest and Coursey Boulevard or in your front yard. I don't care. I'm not paying attention to them. It's not going to change my mind.
Yeah.
Number one. It's just not going to change my mind. A push yard, especially like at an intersection. Our intersections are blighted enough with cigarette butts and trash. Let's not trash them up anymore with your push signs. They're a waste of your money. Glossy cardboard placard cards, what do they call them? Push cards?
Push cards. In
my mailbox. Go straight to my garbage can. I don't even look to see if it's there are guys that I support, like Dwight Hudson's my Metro councilman. I'm sure Dwight is running for re-election.
Oh, yes.
And Dwight, you got my vote, baby. But you put that thing in my mailbox, it's going straight to my garbage can. I don't care. TV ads. Talk about substance, talk about the issues, talk about the things that, come on, you know it, you're not an idiot. You know what people are concerned with in East Baton Rouge Parish. Same things people are concerned with everywhere. If you dodge around with rap songs and dancing and jingles, you've lost me. I'm paying no attention. Bill?
All right, so I like getting the push cards. But the only reason I like getting them is they are a rich, wonderful resource for comedy. Because I'll get them. They all have their family, Look how close that kid's eyes are together. And his brother can see both sides. They're so far apart. That gene pool has gotten and if you're a good-looking woman, I'm picturing you naked. I want you to know that. Do not think anything. Don't think I'm reading it, because I'm not. Say, look at this family.
Might as well just haul out one of your bathing suit pics from vacation.
Yeah. All right. So the signs, it's like birds poop on them. The wind blows them to where your name doesn't read properly any longer.
People who don't like your candidate come and take it down. And we get people getting legal about it. You took down my push signs.
Now here's the one. Here's the big thing. The slow-mo TV commercial. He's a father. He works on his own car. He once took a plumbing class.
And he
cares about you.
He's either walking towards you slow-mo through the halls
he doesn't know how to
he already
shake
holds
hands
office.
Because look at this. You know what? If you're
How
gonna
many years did Jay Darden use the same damn commercial, no matter what he was running for?
that was it. But I mean, if you're going to do television, sit there and say, "This is what I've done." If you're moving from one office to another, or you're an incumbent, this is what I want to do, and I'd be honored to have your vote. And get off the stage. I don't want to see your kid, because once again, I'm looking at him and I know that you don't spend a lot of time with him because you've been busy running for office or doing the people's business. And he's out buying fentanyl at night. I know it. Come on. I know your daughter thinks standing up is a foreign concept. Come on. You haven't spent any time with them. You've been busy running for office.
This is my daughter. We had to put makeup over all her tattoos before we could shoot
please.
the commercial.
I don't care. And I don't care if you're a Catholic or a Zen Buddhist or a Christian or a Taoist. I don't care what you follow personally or care about. What I care about is when I call you and say there's a pothole that you could lose a Toyota Highlander in on this street, that you're going to say, I'm getting somebody on it. Yep. That's all I care about. Now, you know who I think has done brilliant commercials? Bill Cassidy. He's got 3 different ones that all...
I love his healthcare ads.
He's got the healthcare ad. He's got the veterans benefits ad, okay? And he's got the looking to the future ad if we don't do something to fix the insurance system. All of which fall into his purview as a United States Senator.
And as a physician.
Yeah. Everybody running for mayor. Everybody running for mayor, and I don't care if it's in Lafayette. I don't care if it's parish president in Jefferson. I don't care if it's in New Orleans and Baton Rouge. Everybody running for mayor is going to say, and education is my top priority. I want to be the education mayor. None of these mayors can do a damn thing about education. Because in our screwed up state, we've made boards of education their own government. And if you remember, last time around, some of us kind of encouraged the school board to give the finger to mayors and people like that said they wanted to meddle in education and tell them that they have their own taxing authority and they're their own government. And some of them did, if you remember. Mayors going down to the school board, and I'm going to tell you how it is. And the school board, I don't think so, since, we're our own government. And
ma'am, your 3 minutes is up.
Yeah, we're not responsible to you, so there's the door.
Yeah.
And on radio, please spare me the big military loading and locking music. If you want a little underscore to your radio message, that's fine. But a
little warm, soft America the Beautiful on French horns.
But my favorite is you get it.
It sounds like Patton for crying out loud.
And you get Kevin Gallagher announcing,
I haven't done any politicals this year.
Joe Schmo is running for animal control. And then when it's your turn, you say, hi, I'm Joe Schmo.
And I approve this message.
And I approve this message. It's like, good God Almighty. Next time you go to the men's room, see if you still got one.
I haven't done any political so far this season, and I don't know if I feel good about that or bad about that. I have said some stuff in political ads. It's like, really? Can we say that?
Can we say that?
I've read copy that made accusations.
Now the funny thing is, if you're running for federal office, you can say anything. So you got 3 elections.
Obviously, have you seen Biden ads?
But what I mean,
say anything.
What I mean is, if you really, let's say you're what's the fellow's name? Antoine Pierce.
Oh, up in Perkins.
Antoine Perkins, nice looking man, by the way. Let's just
He's
say,
a damn good looking man.
Let's just
he
say
could
there's
be Black
a
Panther.
television station in Shreveport that has peed you off. You can send them 30 seconds of nothing but the 7 dirty words that you can't say on television, and they have to run it. I think that's one of the most wonderful things about FCC regulations. It cracks me up every time. If you want to call, if you're running for a federal office and you want to call your opponent a filthy so-and-so who does this and that, and you know the kinds of things I'm talking about, they can't stop it. They got to run it.
What I love as far as the criticisms of some of the candidates, and let's go for presidential. If I were Trump, what I would do is I'd run an ad with on television with no voiceover, no voice of any kind. I would have a scroll of everything that he'd accomplished in the last 4 years, either through executive order or signing it into law, and I'd have a star next to everyone that was a campaign promise kept, and just let that scroll. And then by comparison, I go, Joe Biden, he's been in federal government since 1973. His accomplishments.
But he's got a good hair transplant.
Dropped an F-bomb when they passed Obamacare. That made it on national television.
Now, what I would do is I wonder what...
the plugs look good.
Yeah, I wonder what it would cost to get the rights to that one little moment from My Cousin Vinny. Because you know
everything that guy just said right there
exactly
is bullshit. Oh, I said it. Sorry. That is one of the funniest moments in any courtroom film ever made.
If I were running for mayor, I'd have that on a little box, and you know, when whoever it is done, I just push the button, and this is where we start, folks. Everything that guy right there said is, and you know what?
Yeah, don't double down on me.
That would probably be the most effective campaign tool, because everybody running for mayor is going to talk about education, that they can't do it. Everybody's going to talk about BREC, which again is its own government. They can't do anything about that.
I got to tell you, of all the mayoral candidates in Baton Rouge, everybody's talking about paying police more money, and they will if they can, I'm sure. Every one of them, whether they're Democrat, Republican, if they can, they will, I'm sure. The ideas for policing that I think are interesting, E. Eric Gayrard not only wants to merge the Sheriff's Department, the Constable's Office, and the police into one police force, but he wants to call it the Garde Rouge and put them in red uniforms. Maybe not red, maybe more like, you know, maybe more like a nice burgundy or something like that. But, you know, the Garde Rouge. And, you know, they'd all be trained in martial arts and investigative techniques, and people would want to be members of the Garde Rouge because it would pay at least $45K.
Does anybody else smell toast, or am I just having a stroke thinking about this?
That's good stuff. At that point, we're going to take another break, take care of a little bit of business. Exiles TV returns in a moment.
Garde Rouge.
The Garde Rouge.
That's right, the Clarence Buggs Show is back, along with the Exiles, Bill Profita and Kevin Gallagher. We've put the band back together, South Louisiana's talk team, and it's only on the Pelican. 10 a.m. till 12 noon, right here on the Pelican.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
Bellello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent. Depend on us for service, for selection, for price. Get huge Whirlpool savings. Shop now and save on Whirlpool appliances throughout the store. Plus, experience our price match guarantee and ask about special financing. You can depend on the know-how of people who live appliances every day. Bellello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent with nationwide buying power.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Hi, I'm Hurricane Betsy Barnes.
And I'm Dr. Kay Siller with the Rocket Right Show.
We are two busy blondes on the go showing off life in Louisiana.
Watch us on Pelican Sports Network.
And Talk 107.3 FM. Check local listings for times.
I owed the IRS $10,000.
The IRS garnished my wages.
They put a lien on my house.
I'm self-employed and didn't report all my income. They claim I owe a lot more than I do.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world. They do not give up until you pay.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions Now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
Tax Solutions Now can get you help. Our agents know the rules, can stop the pain, and get you the best deal.
Tax Solutions Now saved my business.
I qualified for the Fresh Start program. I paid less than I owed.
We connect you with a team of former IRS agents and tax professionals who get the IRS off your back. Time is running out. Call Tax Solutions now.
Call 800-778-4345. 800-778-4345.
Exiles TV returns. Elections. We have the president and Joe Biden scheduled to debate tonight. I don't normally like to watch these sorts of things, but for some reason, it's going to be kind of like a traffic accident as you pass by.
Yeah, we were formulating a plan at our house. We're going to eat way before because we might not want to eat afterwards.
I understand how that might be.
Yeah, and we're gonna have to have a couple glasses of wine.
How is your BS meter? I mean, I don't always know when I'm being lied to, but quite frequently I do. Mm-hmm. I can just tell when I'm being lied to, whether it's by the media or an individual that I'm right there in the room with. I can usually tell when someone is telling me a lie, and it sometimes makes me angry. Because I don't consider myself to be a genius, and if I could tell you're lying to me, then I figure a lot of people could tell that you're lying, and it makes me angry. It's like people should not be able to get away with just blatantly lying, especially when they want to be the president of the United States.
You know what I think is happening, and I know I'm going to mess up this guy's name. He's a reputable author, and he's a business professor at one of the really good schools, and I can't tell whether he's affiliated with the party or in the middle or whatever, but he makes some good sense. And he said, we have entered the level of manipulation by candidates for almost any office, that they seek to manipulate their voter base the way a revival tent preacher seeks to manipulate and control his or her congregation. And he made a lot of sense. He said, it's all in the language. Listen to what they actually say as opposed to what somebody later says what they meant. And you will see that a lot of what they say, and he says this goes from the bottom all the way up, is very manipulative. It makes you think about something in a way that they want you to think about it.
Well, I think this is part of the reason why Donald Trump, the media and people who, of course, who hate Trump, they misquote him a lot. But it's easy to do because he has such a rambling, meandering way of speaking sometimes that you don't know what the hell he intended to say.
That's not by accident. The fellow who did the great cartoon strip. Not Dilbert, but the other, well, it might have been Dilbert. Scott Adams, I believe.
Scott Adams did Dilbert, yeah.
Well, he also has a doctorate in communication studies and business. Mm-hmm. And he wrote a book about Trump 3 years ago that talked about him being the nuclear alternative in communications. And his book is called Bigly. Because a lot of people thought when he was talking about doing things, he'd say bigly, and he was doing the standard New York thing, big league. But he talked about how he very carefully has cultivated that rambling style and the little jabs to make you think about things away from the central issue. Mm-hmm. It's like he talks about, I'm going to build a wall, going to cost $400 billion.
And I'll make Mexico pay for it.
And
he comes back later and says, did you really think that I was going to make them write me a check?
Oh, but
with a little memo for the wall.
But boy, it made everybody that was leaning that way think about, whoa, what a doer this guy is. He is an absolute nuclear communicator when it comes to things like that. But what the other Scott I was talking about, I think his name is Scott Thorson, and I'm sorry if I've got it wrong. I was actually just looking at one of his manuscripts the other day that's fairly fresh, and he says, you know what you do to get away from all this? You stop doing anything but socializing on social media. Do not accept anybody's post or Instagram or tweet that has to do with anything of fact or news or substance as in any way possibly true. That you go and find the truth through valid research on your own.
Good Lord, do you realize that what that says about the news media? You used to be able to trust the news media to tell you things. Now you've got to fact check ABC. You've got to fact check CNN.
But you know what?
And you've got to go, I don't have time to research everything I hear on the news.
But we saw it happen. It happened to you and I live on the air during the Senate election. What was it, 2 years ago, 3 years ago? Foster Campbell is on the air with us, and he says, well, if you elect me to the United States Senate, I will get rid of the Louisiana state income tax. You remember that?
Yeah.
And we said, you can't.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, I can. I said, how? You elect me, and that was it. We cut it off. And what happened immediately after that? An apologist from inside his campaign called and ripped you up about what he meant rather than what he said.
Ripped me up on social media. We had that live chat. Remember the live chat room that we had when we were on the radio? Yeah.
But the point is...
And I told this person, I'm not going to name her, but I told this person, I said, I would no more let you come on and run cover for what your candidate just said than I would let Lionel Rainey come on and run cover for the Republican candidate. The man said what he said.
He said what he said. And that's the big thing is we have got, everybody now has 4 people behind him that
that's not what he meant.
That's not what he meant. You have to think about the context. No, there's no context. It came out of his pie hole.
Yeah.
There is no context here.
Well, but some of the things, one of the more egregious things is, for instance, Trump told people to drink bleach. Okay, or Trump told people to drink antiseptic.
He never said that.
He never said that.
He said, is there a way we can introduce it into the body?
He was actually talking about UV light at the time. That was what the discussion was about, was how ultraviolet light kills the virus. Is there any way we could introduce that inside the body? And people tell, drink drain cleaner or whatever. And it's one of the most horribly misquoted things of the president because they wanted drink Clorox to be true.
Well, I mean, it's like John Kennedy was running saying, I'd rather drink weed killer. And people got all upset.
That's what he said, though.
But he was making...
He was a joke.
No, he was making a snide remark that he intended. And people were saying, he's telling people to drink weed killer. I said, no. He said, I'd rather drink weed killer.
Yeah, I know. It's
but
it's hyperbole.
The explainers, the apologists, I mean, they really tire me out. There's a guy now, the latest chief of staff at the White House, Mark Meadows. And I'm going to admit, I don't like his face. Okay, I just don't. He's one of those people who run because he looks like Billy Graham and Rock Hudson had a love child. Okay. And if I had that Joe Pesci quote on a box, I'd be punching it every time he opened up his pie hole.
Everything that guy just said.
Everything that guy had just said is,
By the way, as we go to another commercial break here before the top of the hour, this new Trump has now had a 3rd Nobel Peace Prize nomination, producing peace in a world in a way in which none of his predecessors have. None.
I was going to ask.
Now, let's not forget that the previous president got a Nobel Peace Prize for merely talking about what he'd like to do.
Well, come on now. That was one of those...
we want to love him so much.
We do.
We want to love him so much.
We want to love him.
Trump actually opened up diplomatic negotiations with North Korea, something that hasn't been done since they became North Korea.
Yeah.
So,
but I think these are for the what is it, the Yemen-Syria Accord or something?
yeah, it's for several things. There's a list of accomplishments.
You know, the Nobel Prize isn't what it used to be. Okay, you used to have to be able to split an atom or something like that to get a Nobel Prize
for science. Yeah, but
for anything.
Look, the Peace Prize has always been.
Oh yeah, it is the World Stage Participation Trophy.
The Peace Prize has always been crap. All right, quick commercial break. We'll be right back with more crap on Exiles TV.
For Total Home Pest Control, who are you going to call?
Call the Bug Man, 923-BUGS.
For total pest control for your home or business, call the original Salvant.
Call the Bug Man today, 923-BUGS.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
Clarence Bug Show. Yeah, I'm back on the air. That's right, 10 a.m. until 12 noon, Monday and Wednesday, and we replay it Monday and Wednesday nights, 10 p.m. to midnight. Check us out online. You can watch it live at PelicanSportsTV.com, or better yet, why don't you just download the Pelican Broadcasting app? That way you can take it with you anywhere you go. That's right, the Clarence Bug Show. Tell you what, oh, wait, gotta run, gotta go, bye.
From appetizers, pasta dishes, and entrees, La Contea takes pride in preparing all the Italian cuisine we know you love. Enjoy live music every Thursday through Saturday from 6 to 9, happy hour weekdays from 3 to 6, and brunch on Sundays from 11 to 2, as well as dinner portion-sized lunch specials for under $10. Visit our website to view our menu and book a party or meeting in our large banquet room. Once you try La Contea, your Italian dining will change forever.
Welcome back to Exiles TV. Coming up in our next hour, we are going to have Mike Manning, President and CEO of the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank. As you can imagine, they have been running and gunning because they're also trying to help people that have had problems in Lake Charles. Not to mention the fact that they were greatly depleted during COVID. They have got a lot going on, and a lot of folks are trying to help them and get the word out. And so we are going to do that as well as we move into our day. Mike will be with us probably in about a half an hour or so. I saw this, Kevin. I know you saw it too. Former Governor Mike Foster, who is 90 years old, according to his family, has entered hospice care. His situation is not related to the pandemic. He has had a series of other illnesses that he has been battling for the last 4 or 5 years.
Foster is 90.
He's 90.
Some feel he is the last good governor we had in the state of Louisiana.
Yeah, he did 2 terms. 96 through 2004, and of course, I'm sure it's very, very difficult for a family to say our dad, our grandfather, is in hospice care. But he has made it to 90, and I'm sure they're finding some comfort in the fact that they're keeping him comfortable as he goes down the road here. But he was a character and a half.
Oh, he sure was.
Now, you know, he flew jets in Korea in the Air Force.
Knew that.
And when he finished being governor, he went back to school and went to law school, got a law degree, passed the bar. Then he decided that he wanted to become a helicopter pilot. And he actually did become a helicopter pilot. He lives not far.
He lives in Franklin, right?
No, he lives not far from Karen and I. I mean,
he still lives in the capital
He's got
region?
his big plantation in Franklin, yes. But one day I heard this god-awful noise, and there was this giant black helicopter that looked like it was coming to approach. And I mean, not giant like a military size. I mean, like a small Bell. And it landed on the driving range of the golf course. It was Governor Foster making a landing. And then he just took off again. And as I hear it, the TAF, which owns the golf course out there, and the homeowners association said, "Please don't do that anymore."
They asked nicely.
Please don't land your helicopter on our driving range anymore.
I remember many years back for radio, we were covering a great big event at Harley Davidson of Baton Rouge, which is on Segan Lane, a big street that connects to Interstate 10. And one of the things was, you know, he liked his motorcycles.
Yes, he did.
And Governor Foster was going to be there. So, of course, he was well liked, and a lot of people would turn out for the chance to see the governor. I don't know what we were expecting. I guess we were expecting a motorcade with the governor on a motorcycle. What we got instead was the helicopter came and landed in what at the time was an empty lot across the street. There's not an empty lot there now, but an empty lot across the street, across Segan Lane from Harley Davidson of Baton Rouge. And the governor got out, and a truck pulled up pulling a trailer, and the guy wheeled the governor's motorcycle off the back of the trailer. And the governor got on the motorcycle and rode across Segan Lane, and boom, he was there. But he was on a motorcycle when he arrived, by the way, officially.
I will never forget, we used to always go to the Gridiron Show, which is where members of the Capitol Correspondence Groups put on a musical skit that makes fun of the governor and lieutenant governor and all the legislators and various sheriffs and things like that. And he always came when he was in office. And after the performance one year, we were all delayed, and we're all walking out, and we hear this god-awful noise, and it's him revving his Harley under that overhang there at the American Legion Hall on Wooddale. And he's ready to go, and Miss Alice would not ride with him.
Of course not.
Well, she did in the country. She didn't want to ride in city traffic. But he says, "Hey, Marsanne, you want to ride?" Marsanne was his press secretary, Marsanne Goldsby. And she hopped on, and he roared out of there. And the thing that made it such a special moment was his laugh drowned out the sound of that motorcycle. He was a good, and he still is. I mean, I don't want to talk of him as
he was a good governor. He was a good guy, and he made a connection with the people.
He was very, very Reagan-esque in that way. He really was. Whatever happens next for him, we certainly wish he and his family well. You know, if he's got a little more time left in him, that'll be a blessing to all of us in Louisiana.
But you know, I mean, time passes, and people do come and they go. We lost Governor Blanco a couple of years ago. Well, a little over a year ago, I guess. Governor Blanco was in 18?
2018, I believe.
Yeah, and it was kind of shocking to me because I didn't know that she was getting sick. But it turned out she had all kinds of debilitating illnesses.
Well, she had a cancer inside one of her eyes.
Yeah.
And that's never a good thing.
Governor Blanco, I didn't consider her to be a great governor, but I also considered her to be somebody that was completely bowled over by Hurricane Katrina.
Mm-hmm.
And she had all these men from the federal government telling her, hand over your state to us. And maybe she did the wrong thing, but for some reason I kind of admire that she went, no, I'm not handing over my state to the federal government. We can work together on this.
Well, and she may not have been a great governor if you're judging one against another, but I'll tell you one thing about Kathleen Blanco. She was a great human being.
She was a good person. Good person.
She was cordial. She was genuine. She gave a damn. And that came ahead of any politics.
As a reporter who attended many gubernatorial press conferences, she was concerned with how long the media had to wait. And I can tell you her successor in the governor's mansion did not care.
Bobby Jindal would be like, how you feel about Thursday?
He did not care how long the
but
media.
But it's Tuesday, Governor. Yeah, how do you feel about Thursday?
Had to wait. All right, top of the hour. Well, we're going to talk next hour with Michael Manning, the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, feeding the need, especially in the wake of one of the worst hurricanes ever. That's coming up on Exiles TV.
Balello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent. Depend on us for service, for selection, for price. Get huge Whirlpool savings. Shop now and save on Whirlpool appliances throughout the store. Plus, experience our price match guarantee and ask about special financing.
You can depend on the know-how of people who live appliances every day.
Balello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent with nationwide buying power.
Hello. Hola. 你好.
Experience what the Baton Rouge International School can offer your children. Now welcoming displaced students for short and long-term stability.
From appetizers, pasta dishes, and entrees, La Cantea takes pride in preparing all the Italian cuisine we know you love. Enjoy live music every Thursday through Saturday from 6 to 9, happy hour weekdays from 3 to 6, and brunch on Sundays from 11 to 2, as well as dinner portion-sized lunch specials for under $10. Visit our website to view our menu and book a party or meeting in our large banquet room. Once you try La Cantea, your Italian dining will change forever.
Exiles from what you ask? Exiled from the radio. But now, we're on your television.
I'm Bill Profita, he's Kevin Gallagher, and they kicked us to the curb.
But we're back.
We are back with Exiles Television on the Pelican Broadcasting Network. We're going to bring you the newsmakers. We're also going to take your calls and give you great information. It's going to be the best damn radio show on television.
Look for it on your cable system or download the app, PelicanSportsTV.com.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Hey, welcome back. Hour 2 here. This is Exiles TV. So glad to have you with us. So, it's funny because nobody's even talking about it anymore on a national scale because we have so many wildfires out in the western states.
Mm-hmm.
But we were hit with the strongest hurricane to hit the Louisiana coast, the Gulf Coast, in 150 years.
Yep.
And it devastated southwest Louisiana. And there are parts of southwest Louisiana, there was still no electricity a month later. And yet, it's kind of fallen off the radar, but that doesn't mean that people over in southwest Louisiana, those that are there, because we understand we still have evacuees living in hotel rooms here in Baton Rouge and other areas.
Yeah.
But what do you do about all that need for food, for the basics of life? We're going to talk with Mike Manning, Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank. As you can guess, it's been difficult for them just because they're a charitable organization that relies on donations, and COVID-19 has made 2020 a a rough year for anybody that's asking for donations. So how do they feed the extraordinary need across our state and in the capital region at the same time?
That's it. You have a lot of agencies that are serving 2 and 3 masters now. So I'm thinking of power companies as well. You've got crews now that are still working and will be working for quite some time in Calcasieu and Cameron parishes. And you've got power crews that have gone to work on the Gulf Coast in the Gulf Shores, Orange Beach, Pensacola area, and they're spread kind of thin. The food bank, I am sure, that served the Lake Charles area got devastated. And so now our food bank, which is one of the largest and most successful in the country, which was dealing with a crisis of its own because of the pandemic, is now trying to help out with feeding there. And I'm sure they're doing some helping with feeding in the hotels where they're sheltering people. So we'll talk to Mike Manning about that. Kevin, I just saw this. Martin Johnson, the dean of the LSU school, the Manship School of Journalism, died overnight.
What?
Yes, he is a relatively young man, and he was brought in 2018, so he hadn't been there all that long, and there are no details at all about his death. So I am assuming
he's probably hanging out one of them Tigerland bars, man.
Yeah. I'm assuming it was not expected. I mean, they talk about his academic resume and how he had worked at WBRH for a while, and he got his bachelor's degree at LSU and then got master's and doctorates at Rice. But nothing as to whether his family survives him or if he'd had an illness. Or if this is completely unexplained at this time, and more detail will be following. But yeah, that's. I mean, there's a photo of him,
sad,
and he's a very youthful looking man.
Yeah, I'd guess it'd be 39, 40, maybe as high as maybe 47, 48.
Yeah,
he doesn't look very,
certainly not long in the
doesn't
tooth.
look very old at all.
So as more comes along on this story, I'm sure we will find out. But like I said, he'd only been there about 2 years. He was an expert, by the way, in social media, as a lot of young people in journalism now are.
If you want to get a media degree, you've got to have good instruction in social media. You have to. There's so much stuff that I've learned in the last 5 years about social media, and it's the tip of the iceberg of what I don't know.
But anyway, I'm sure that we're going to have more on it. But I feel comfortable in speculating that this was an unexpected death. The brevity of the amount of reporting.
Yeah. The one question is COVID-19. Is it COVID-19?
You know what? I don't.
He's young to be dying of COVID-19, especially if he didn't have any comorbidities.
Well, and again, it's the kind of thing where, again, if you're hospitalized from it, or if you're undergoing treatment at home and you pass away, they usually say he had been ill for the last week, or a brief illness. There is nothing here about that. So
interesting. Well, God rest him.
Yeah, and I'm sure he has a family, and our condolences to the family.
So LSU, you brought it up. Do you want to talk about that football game last weekend, or would you rather leave it be? I didn't watch it, so
I did. We have our group that we all.
I know you do. That's why I asked.
And it is very, very, very hard when you lose 18 starters from a national championship team, and then one of the All-Americans from that team is hospitalized overnight for food poisoning, so he can't play. It is very, very difficult. And I felt bad for all of them. Coach O had been trying to talk about Miles Brennan in the most glowing of terms prior to the game. But to me, it looked as if there were a good, strong reason that Miles has been on the bench for the last 5 years.
Yeah. They had some, this morning I was watching Channel 33, they had some comment from Coach O from his Monday press conference. And look, I'm not trying to. I know it's easy to pick on the guy, but I could not make out what the hell he was saying. Honestly. And, you could put closed captioning on him, but
that's even funnier when you put. But again, and we also have to remember that Mississippi State has got as quarterback what appears to be this year's version of Joe Burrow.
Yeah,
and he made some mistakes.
I saw some
too.
highlights. The kid has a strong arm, though.
Yeah, but he made some serious mistakes. But as Orgeron said late on Saturday evening, he said, hey, "I got to coach him better." I mean, that line was like toilet tissue. They were beating the hell out of Miles Brennan, and throwing a lot of those lookout blocks where they miss and they go look out. And the kid,
heads up,
as Karen said, he runs like a golfer. And one of the other ladies said, "Golfers don't run," and Karen said, "Exactly." He ain't no Joe Burrow. But then again, who's going to be?
Joe Burrow hasn't been Joe Burrow. I mean, he managed to hold off another big loss. To the Bengals.
He's not getting much help. He is not getting much help.
I mean, when we all saw Joe Burrow leaving, we hoped that he would go to. But that's the problem with being the number one quarterback.
You go to the worst team in the country.
You go to the worst team, and then you got to play there for a few years and hope that you get traded.
If they need a quarterback, that's where you're going.
Yep.
If they needed a wide receiver, you might have gone somewhere else.
But it takes much more than the one guy. I mean, he can only do so much.
But I felt bad for Coach O because going in, he was doing what every good coach does, talking glowingly about his team and trying to keep their confidence level up. And they had a couple of moments of absolute brilliance. They really did. But the defense is, again, they're suffering from people who haven't had much game time because all the people who had game time, they're all going to the NFL.
I want to ask you a question about watching the game, but I can see by the clock that we need to take a commercial break.
All right.
So let's do that. More questions for Bill coming up, plus Mike Manning with the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank. Exiles continues in just a moment.
Hello, guys. It's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
That's right, the Clarence Buggs Show is back, along with the Exiles, Bill Profita and Kevin Gallagher. We've put the band back together, South Louisiana's talk team, and it's only on the Pelican. 10 a.m. till 12 noon, right here on the Pelican.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
And Exiles TV returns. I'm Kevin, and he's Bill, and we were talking about watching the LSU game. It must have been weird, especially for people in the stadium with 25% capacity.
Mm-hmm.
So Tiger Stadium is like quiet, which I know that probably messed with the players.
It was a weird visual, let me tell you.
And then those stupid cutouts. I know some people have, gotten to try to get enthusiastic about things and show some enthusiasm by paying money to get a cutout of themselves or someone they, up in time. But
yeah, $50.
It's just a stupid idea. It's a ridiculous idea. Just my opinion. Now, what I wanted to ask you, though, when you're watching the game, you have friends over to watch all the games that are televised.
Mm-hmm.
Do you go with whoever is calling the game on the channel that's broadcasting the game, or do you turn the volume down and turn up the official broadcast with the voice of the
Well, we always our group always goes to Mike and Elaine Camarazano's house.
Okay.
And when we're watching the television, we use the television announcers. But when we're sitting,
even when it's Gary Danielson,
I like Gary. I think he's sharp. I really do. And he knows the game very well. He played quarterback in a big, high-powered program. He knows NCAA football.
Mm-hmm.
But when we go out to the patio, we have some people that still smoke, and they go out there. Then it's Eagle 98.1 that is on.
Mm-hmm. At the official play-by-play.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, here's the whole thing. The play-by-play on television is nowhere near as attention-getting to me as the visual. I watch what is happening on the screen. I can tell what kind of play they're running on the screen. When I need the announcers on TV is when there's a review or there's a call that might not be as clear. Or if somebody goes down and they say, man, that's bad. This is the third time he's hurt that ankle, this year. They've got statistics that I don't have. And so that's when I need them. Now,
I like Chris Blair a great deal. I think that Chris Blair is a very worthy successor to Jim Hawthorne.
Yeah. Chris is a good broadcast announcer for play-by-play and everything that goes with it. But again, that doing the old turn down the TV and look to the listen to the radio, the delay is different.
They are.
And some people are okay with that. Me, it kind of drives me crazy. But I watch the video portion more than the audio portion when I'm watching TV. I mean, I can see who's got the ball. I can tell what kind of play it is. What I need the announcers for is when something unusual happens, like what the hell kind of penalty was that? I don't know what that flag is.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll sit there and say, well, it looks like this or it looks like that.
So were you watching Saints yesterday?
Yes, Monday night, yes. Penalized themselves into oblivion.
I am one of the many people. Of course, it was never that big a deal for me, but it's like, I think while the kneeling and the flag hating and stuff like that is going on, I'll just give it all a miss.
See, I don't care about that because, first of all, you don't see
America's a great country because you're an idiot who plays with a ball and you're a multimillionaire.
But America is a great country because we've all agreed with the Constitution that you have the right to do that. Right?
Yep.
And the people that own those teams...
You do. You have the right to do it. You have the right to bite the hand that feeds you.
The people that own those teams have the right to write those big checks to those people, don't they?
And viewers have the right to not watch if they choose.
But not because of that. I mean... what I didn't like watching was the absolute horrible B-team camera work where you kept seeing the wire cam go into the middle of the tight shot, and Drew Brees, you can see he's talking, and it's in front of his face, and man, they were sloppy. I don't know if they couldn't get in to set up 2 days in advance like they normally do and test everything out.
It's COVID, man. I blame the COVID.
The camera work was sloppy. And if the Saints get any more penalty, they're going to set a world and Olympic record.
This is going to be.
They're going to be penalized to where they will owe yards into the next season.
This is going to be Drew Brees last season, and it's not going to be a good one for him. You know, he may even want to consider maybe stepping down mid-season. I don't know.
Well, I don't think, as good as he looks like he might be, I don't think Taysom Hill is ready to be a 90% of the time quarterback. I think he likes being the NFL's version of a utility infielder a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that offense is an easy one to learn in its entirety. I wouldn't count Drew Brees out, but you know what? At the end of that game, where it could have gone to overtime, their defensive secondary, the leader, Jenkins, penalized them 3 times in 7 plays to set up the win for the other team. And it was stupid, frustrated penalties. And you know what? You don't do that. When they are at 50, which means that they're going to be shooting a field goal that's going to be 58, 59, maybe 62 yards. You don't sit there and jump off sides and make it closer. And then when he throws the ball deep, you don't sit there and slap at the receiver. He was going to miss the ball anyway. It was over his head. So that brings it to half the distance to the goal. And then they get penalized again. So instead of just having 4 downs from there, they have 8.
Yeah.
And another penalty, and then it just took them 7. I mean, that is inexcusable.
It's emotional play.
It's inexcusable on a high school team. I mean, they acted like the school for the blind out there. They were feeling up these receivers so much that they had to send them flowers. God almighty.
Ready
Play
for another
the ball.
break?
Yes.
Let's do that. And when we return, we're going to talk about the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank. And as I said earlier, feeding the need, especially when you're trying to help out in recovery from one of the worst hurricanes to ever hit American soil. That's coming up next.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
Hi, I'm Hurricane Betsy Barnes.
And I'm Dr. Kay Siller with The Rocket Right Show.
We are 2 busy blondes on the go showing off life in Louisiana.
Watch us on Pelican Sports Network.
And Talk 107.3 FM. Check local listings for times.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
Hello, guys. It's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Clarence Bug Show. Yeah, I'm back on the air. That's right, 10 a.m. until 12 noon, Monday and Wednesday, and we replay it Monday and Wednesday nights, 10 p.m. to midnight. Check us out online. You can watch it live at PelicanSportsTV.com, or better yet, why don't you just download the Pelican Broadcasting app? That way you can take it with you anywhere you go. That's right, the Clarence Bug Show. Tell you what, oh, wait, gotta run, gotta go, bye.
For Total Home Pest Control, who are you going to call?
Call the Bug Man, 923-BUGS.
For total pest control for your home or business, call the original Salvant.
Call the Bug Man today, 923-BUGS.
From appetizers, pasta dishes, and entrees, La Contea takes pride in preparing all the Italian cuisine we know you love. Enjoy live music every Thursday through Saturday from 6 to 9, happy hour weekdays from 3 to 6, and brunch on Sundays from 11 to 2, as well as dinner portion-sized lunch specials for under $10. Visit our website to view our menu and book a party or meeting in our large banquet room. Once you try La Contea, your Italian dining will change forever.
Exiles TV. Glad to have you with us this morning. I hope you all are enjoying this fall-like weather. It feels like fall, it smells like fall, it sounds like fall.
Yeah, about 72 now. The clouds have cleared away. The sun's beating down. And it's supposed to be about 7 straight days of cool and gorgeous weather here. One thing that you cannot deny is that human beings need to eat. That is what we do. That is our fuel. That is how we keep our bodies moving. And this man here in between us, Mike Manning, with the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, he is tasked with making sure that the neediest among us continue to get their body's fuel. Mike, thanks for being with us once again. How are you?
Good to be with you again.
Was that a weird intro?
I wish I'd have gotten the memo out of one mine.
Yeah, we do this a lot, unfortunately.
I really like that tie. I've been meaning to tell you.
Do you really?
Yeah, it's nice.
This tie has a story. I'll tell you after after we're off the air. This tie has a story.
Mike, as we discussed before you came on, it's been a rough year for any kind of organization that relies on the generosity of people to keep going. It's just been a rough year, and I'm assuming that giving has been reduced for the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank.
Well, we have not seen that, really. We've been very fortunate because people understand what we're doing.
Well, I'm happy to be wrong.
We've been out there on the front lines the whole time. My team has been phenomenal. They just have stepped up to levels. You know, we can do this after a disaster, but you're doing it for a few weeks. We've been doing disaster level distributions for months.
Wow.
Well, and your demand has gone way, way, way up, and it's multifactorial. It's a lot of people have lost their regular paycheck. People that had been contributors are probably now being beneficiaries.
Yep.
You've had a hard time procuring food because every food bank in the country is going after the same scarce resource, and the transportation distribution chain on all of that food is slowed down. So that's kind of a 1, 2, 3.
Well, and it's more than just that because the retail grocery industry blew up. I mean, it just went exponentially in growth from the standpoint of people were at home. People had to eat at home. They weren't going out to eat. All the things the habits that they used to have changed, so that everybody was cooking at home, doing things at home. So it really changed the retail grocery business. And they've had significant impacts. And then that affects the supply chain because if other people are taking that supply, it's not available to us.
Let's talk about the most recent disaster in our area, and that would be Hurricane Laura. I would assume that your counterparts and colleagues over in Lake Charles and that whole area need some help, and I also assume that you all are probably help with the feeding of evacuees who are here in Baton Rouge. How is that working, and how is that stretching you?
Well, basically what we do is we support each other in Louisiana. The food banks across the state work together. We stage product for Feeding America. So we have had disaster product pre-staged in case something happened. So when it did, we shipped that product out. We've also been a pre-staging area for product coming through us to get to the impacted area. So they'll send water to us, they'll send other supplies to us. and then we'll forward it on. And then on top of that, Amazon did a wish list, and we became the processor for the Amazon wish list, so that as that product came in, we could sort it and then ship it over to the impacted area. And there have been others doing food drives and other things that we've taken the food and coordinated the shipping of that food over to the impacted area to really have help, because they've helped us. I mean, at the flood, there were a lot of other food banks that helped us, so it's right for us to help them. And then even some of the water that we received for Laura, we ended up shipping in the other direction for Sally.
Mm-hmm.
So
now, with all this going on, how is the ability to meet the need right now in the greater Baton Rouge area?
Well, it's still challenging. It's very challenging for us. It has been for years. When you look at the number of meals we need to provide to ensure that people weren't food insecure in our service area, the 11 parishes, you're talking about 20 million meals. So when you take that and you put it on steroids with COVID, you still have gig workers that aren't working because bands aren't playing anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
You still have the casinos that are relatively low in their levels of employment. There are so many organizations and businesses that are low levels of employment. The need is just still tremendous. And it ebbed a little bit with the unemployment income enhancement that was being received, but it's bouncing back up now that those enhancements are gone.
Well, and we are in grave danger of having all of it gone very soon in the state of Louisiana. We had the second lowest unemployment rate, unemployment compensation in the nation, and now we may go to almost nothing.
Yeah.
And that is going to really put a strain on people like food banks.
Well, it just raises our effort level. We just need to do more. And the community has always responded to us. The thing, to your point, the question about fundraising, yes, it would be down generally, but when you look at things, we were pretty much the only game in town for a long time because of COVID. So many nonprofits shut down because they couldn't provide their services. Mm-hmm. But we had to ramp ours up. Mm-hmm. And I think the community recognized that effort and recognized our people going out into the community to make sure that people had food with our mobile distributions, which are continuing. We're still doing those 5 days a week, but we take Monday to pack, and then we go off Tuesday through Saturday and do distributions. But we also are recovering some of our agencies back online, and we're still trying to supplement where those agencies are closed, where we're going in and doing the distributions. So it's really been a challenge, but I've just been amazed at the dedication, the commitment, and performance of our team. They've just been phenomenal.
Now, you had mentioned a few moments ago that the supermarkets in this area are blowing and going because people are home, people are cooking more. How does that affect your buying power with the dollar?
It significantly affects it because that's a national issue. Mm-hmm. So it's really a function of, what is the availability of food, supply and demand, normal economics. If there's less supply and increased demand, that means prices are going up. We hit a point in the month or two ago where we were trying to buy product, and we found that the peanut butter that we used to buy for $10 to $12 a case, we were having to buy $20, $21 a case.
Wow.
So it doubled.
Yeah, and that's the problem with supply and demand. And then, is it even available for you? And how long will it take for you to get it? So it's really been a lot of effort and coordination. There have been some federal programs that have helped with the CFAP program, or Farmers to Families is what they're calling it now. It's given us product and given us some flow through to be able to continue these distributions and support our distributions. But it's still a big challenge to make sure we have enough, to make sure we can feed as many people as we can that are in line. And we've had to shut down the lines when we run out of boxes. And even though we would think things would be calming down, we're still facing that in some of our distributions.
That's got to be a terrible feeling for your staff and your volunteers.
When people are still in line.
And a lot of the nonprofits have really wonderful people that help them as volunteers, and really selfless people that work as staff. And I think yours are right at the top of the list, and that's got to be terrible if you're down to 3 boxes and you see 28 more cars in line. That's got to take a hell of an emotional toll.
But it's reinvigorating too. It means we've got to do more. So the next distribution, we're going to bring a little extra and see what we can do. it really refocuses our team on how important what we're doing is, and how many people are depending on us. So from yes, it's a little tough emotionally, but it's also, it has the direct opposite of it. We need to do more. How do we do more? And that's what my team has said, and that's what's been the phenomenal thing about, how do we feed more people? Where can we go? How do we have impact?
Have the feds opened up the federal stockpile to food banks across the nation, including ours?
Well, they have the CFAP program, which is the additional purchase of to support farmers. Is basically what it is, and a lot of that product is going through food banks. But there are also the normal programs are still ongoing. There have been a lot of disaster purchases and disaster commodities that they've shipped for hurricanes. So they're doing their part. It's just that there are limited number of programs, and the Farm to Families was one of the big additions.
What bothers me is it seems that not just with the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, but all over the country, that you've got everybody chasing that canned ham. It's not perishable, it's good protein, and you used to be able to get it either donated or you'd buy it for maybe $1.50. And now, because everybody trying to do good in their community is chasing it, it's $8.
Yeah, and one of the things we have seen is our store donations have dropped off from our retail grocery stores. It's been a function of they don't have anything. They're turning their inventory so much faster and so much more than they were before. And some of the things you've seen, more limited options and those kind of, because they're focusing on delivering what their customers are looking for. And it's also impacting us because we're having to replace that food with purchased food or find other potential resources to make it happen.
I've been shopping at Albertsons for about 22 years, and they've had things where I've seen your logo on it. Usually it involves the bag. Where you're going to do a bag of food, which will do a meal, sometimes 2 meals for a family. I've also noticed sometimes that they do the point of purchase when you put your card in. Does that directly benefit you all, or is that through a larger food bank network?
It should directly benefit us. They have a process that they go through, and it comes back to us. We're not brand
so
name.
So if I'm telling them add $5 to my bill and it's going to help you guys out,
when you go to the checkout and they give you the option on the checkout, you can do
usually
that.
Usually 1, 3, 5 or more.
Yeah, and that will come back. It comes back to the community where it's raised. So they're very good about that.
But with buying power not being what it is because of the demand, that means that you need the money now more than ever.
Yeah, well, we're having so much more overtime. So many more costs because we're doing so many more mobile distributions. We need dollars to be able to continue to do what we're doing, not just for food, but even to just cover the cost of trying to do it.
Have you and your colleagues had to get into more, because of the situation, more into the perishables and the proteins and things because it's just not out there for those that are food insecure anyway?
Well, we wanted to go that way anyway. That's the direction we've been trying to go to improve the nutritional quality of the food we distribute. So it's been beneficial to us with this Farmers to Families program that we've been getting that type of product and getting more of it.
Well, that's a good thing to know.
Yeah.
We were talking to Mike Manning. He is the president and CEO of the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank. Serves a 14 parish area. Have I got it right?
11.
This time? 11. All right. And we're going to continue that right after this break on Exiles TV.
Bellelo's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent. Depend on us for service, for selection, for price. Get huge Whirlpool savings. Shop now and save on Whirlpool appliances throughout the store. Plus, experience our price match guarantee and ask about special financing.
You can depend on the know-how of people who live appliances every day.
Bellelo's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent with nationwide buying power.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
That's right, the Clarence Buggs Show is back, along with the Exiles, Bill Profita and Kevin Gallagher. We've put the band back together, South Louisiana's talk team, and it's only on the Pelican. 10 a.m. till 12 noon, right here on the Pelican.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
Sometimes life is wonderful, and sometimes it's not. Cherish the good, but always be prepared for life's challenges. At Private Healthcare, we provide the peace of mind you deserve. With Private Healthcare, you'll get the coverage you want and healthcare you need. If your employer doesn't supply healthcare coverage and you don't qualify for Medicare or Medicaid, you need to give us a call right now. Private healthcare is private health insurance for ages 65 and under with medical, dental, vision, and even prescription coverage. When life comes at you unexpectedly, you need to be ready, and health insurance is your financial safety net. Health insurance has never been so easy and affordable. If you're looking for health coverage at the best price and your annual household income is $35,000 or more, call the number on the screen now and speak with a live healthcare consultant. Don't wait. Get the coverage you need now.
Hello, guys. It's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Back. It's Exiles TV, so glad to have you with us. We're talking about the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank. Well, now we say Greater Baton Rouge, that usually, when people say that, they mean about 5 or 6 parishes surrounding Baton Rouge, the capital region.
This is much greater than that.
This is a great area. 11 parishes served by the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank. Is the food bank still affiliated with Second Harvest?
Well, it's Feeding America now. If you've seen on the Snickers bars and all the other things, the promotions, Feeding America is they changed the name from Second Harvest to Feeding America because so many people didn't understand the concept of Second Harvest, but they do understand Feeding America.
We are getting into the traditional busy season.
Yes.
For folks like you and our friends over at St. Vincent de Paul. As we get into the holidays, who knows what this holiday season is going to be like, if we're actually going to have a holiday season.
I heard the governor was thinking about calling off Christmas.
Yeah.
I'm joking.
And LSU football.
Joking.
Again. But, this comes a time when there is always a higher demand for the kind of services that you put together. And I know you and your staff want to do your very best to make sure that everybody has a nicer holiday season than they would were they left to their own devices. But how much are we going to need to ramp up as a community to make sure you're going to be able to do that?
Well, the key for us is this is generally, traditionally our big fundraising time.
Yeah.
From September through Christmas through New Year's is when we raise funds for the next year. And that's the bigger concern for us is with all the impacts of COVID, with the loss of jobs, with all the things that are impacting our local economy, is our community going to be able to step up? They've already stepped up so much with COVID response. Are they going to be able to step up to help us through the normal fundraising period to get us ready for next year? And we are hopeful that over the next several months, COVID response will wane down, and we'll be able to go into the new year in 2021 with a fresh outlook, a new approach, not to the levels we're having to do right now. But it's all key on us being able to raise sufficient funds to move into next year and be able to do what we do on a regular basis, much less at these extended responses and distributions we're doing now.
I used to love when we'd have you on with us and you would talk about all the tools in your arsenal that you would be able to, get these shiners in, cans where the labels fell off for like next to nothing, and how you could turn $1 of contribution into $10 of purchasing because of your big purchasing contracts, and so many other ways that you could multiply the amount of food you could distribute. How much of that is still in place and how much of that is a wistful memory right now?
It's still in place. It's just not to the levels that we could have gotten previously. Some of the things we've done organizationally when we moved into facility, like our bulk packaging equipment, gives us the opportunity to get product that's donated nationally, that's palletized boxes of dry product like beans or cereal or rice, and we can pack it and distribute it. So it gives us some flexibility to get some product that other food banks can't take. And we leverage that as much as we possibly can. And that's key for us to be able to take advantage of things. It's one of the unique things about our organization, that it's still just food, but it's really food that we're repacking and then distributing.
I want to ask about perishables, particularly produce and proteins. How does that work for you all? I mean, do you get supermarket, I'm going to say overflow, but supermarkets can only keep produce on the shelf for so long, and then they've got to do something with it. Do they just dump it, or do they say, last chance, come get it? Or?
They donate it, and we've just recently gone through a major renovation and addition of a significant cooler, a brand new refrigerator, if you will. And when we renovated the facility to move in back in 2013, we built a freezer and a cooler, but we built them both to freezer specifications, which mean you have the insulated floor, all the things you need to be able to convert a cooler to a freezer. It also made it more efficient, the cooler, by that. So what we've done is we've gone in and we've added another much larger cooler that's more than double the size of what we had in the existing cooler, and we've converted that cooler to a freezer, so now we've doubled our freezer size. To your point, that was the issue for us, about being able to handle additional produce with space. It also gives us a place where our volunteers can go in and cull produce so that we can salvage more and not let something that's bad in a box or a bin negatively impact everything else. We can get it out of there and salvage the rest of the product.
One bad apple can spoil the whole bunch.
Exactly. So it's all about leveraging what we can do, and trying to address, nutrition being the big focus for us going forward. We don't want to contribute to people's problems with diabetes or hypertension. We want to be able to introduce produce and ways to eat produce, prepare produce that are much more healthy.
Yeah, it seems to me like this would have been an easier mission 25, 30 years ago, when there wasn't the focus on good food. It's just, we're providing food.
Yeah.
And, so lots and lots of rice and beans. You can have all the rice and beans you want, but, a person can't live on rice and beans.
Well, it used to be the ramen and the mac and cheese, the 25-cent boxes of product. There still is that.
But we're adhering to a quality of life standard.
Right. We're trying to, we still will accept soda and those kind of things, because we know our clients are still going to try to buy soda if they can. So we're not going to make the judgment for them not to have soda. If they can avoid buying soda and we give them some, and they can use it to buy nutritious food, that's what we want to encourage.
I've often wondered, when you have the kind of giveaways we've seen recently, where it's a drive-through and there's a box that is packed for people. What's in that box? What do you decide goes into that box that the family grabs at the drive-thru?
Generally, it depends on what type of distribution we're doing and what's available. If we have this farmer-to-family product, it generally is fresh produce, it's fresh proteins, it may include milk or other dairy, so that's one type of box. When we have our USDA commodity distribution, it's going to be a mix of non-perishable product, but also perishable product, which is, can run the gamut from frozen chicken to grapes. So it's really just a function of what we're doing and what the distribution focus is. But we try to give them a broader range of product, focusing more on nutritional quality.
I remember the early days of the rice, the beans, the pasta, the mac and cheese, and then
And those great
the
big
ramen.
bricks of yellow cheese from the USDA.
And of course, soups and things like that, most of which are fairly good for you as long as you, don't overdose, don't eat the whole pound of pasta by yourself. But what kind of changes are we looking at in the future?
Well, I think you're going to still see us take it to a nutritional level where it's not always what you're eating, it may be how you're preparing it. And we're trying to also do some nutritional education to instruct people on you can get the same flavor without having to use all the fat and the other things you need to introduce. Yes, it takes it to another level, but you can still get the flavors with seasonings and other things in lieu of that, or maybe use a different type of oil if you're going to use oil. Though, simple things that can really have a significant impact.
Well, I know people, the only way they know to make snap beans is bacon grease.
Yeah.
You fry them in bacon grease.
But I think that the companies that provide a lot of these things to us now, they have made neutral oils that are more nutritious, like canola. It used to be a 1 quart bottle of canola oil cost you 3 times what vegetable oil costs. Not anymore, it's the same. And olive oil, which is healthy, has come down. So that's not a bad thing. Mike, we got just a couple minutes left. If people would like to help now, and I hope you all will, what do they do? What should they do?
The easiest thing to do is go online. You can donate funds. You can volunteer, you can set up a food drive. Those 3 things are the key to our success and our ability to continue to feed people. So if we can continue to receive the assistance from the community on those 3 fronts, we'll be in good shape going forward.
And what's the URL for your main website?
It's www.brfoodbank.org.
brfoodbank.org. And by the way, there was a very nice story about some of your long-term volunteers that was done, I believe, and don't be angry at me if I'm wrong, I believe it was on WAFB.
That's correct.
And boy, some of these volunteers that have been with you forever and ever and ever and put in all the hours to help their community, there's a lot to be admired there.
Oh, they get it. And that's what we talk about, like a lot of our team gets it, and that's why they're there. It's not necessarily for a paycheck, that's nice, but it's really to have an impact and make a difference in people's lives.
Again, busy season is coming up for the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank. They are helping with disaster relief as well. So please, if you could give $1 or $2 or $5 or $10, and some of you can give more, please go.
If you could work it into your monthly budget and make regular contributions, that would be so appreciated.
I'll bet you they'll put a regular $5 per month on your debit card if you'd like. But go to brfoodbank.org.
That's correct.
brfoodbank.org, and you can find out how you can be a part of it. By the way, if you'd like to volunteer, they always need volunteers, and it's very, very, very rewarding, folks. It really is. Mike Manning, President and CEO of the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, thanks so much.
Good to see you, Michael.
Appreciate the opportunity to visit with you.
We're going to see you a couple times more during the holiday season, I feel sure.
We're going to take a quick break, take care of some business, and we'll be back to wrap things up on Exiles TV.
For Total Home Pest Control, who are you going to call?
Call the Bug Man, 923-BUGS.
For total pest control for your home or business, call the original Salvant.
Call the Bug Man today, 923-BUGS.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Clarence Bugg Show. Yeah, I'm back on the air. That's right, 10 a.m. until 12 noon, Monday and Wednesday, and we replay it Monday and Wednesday nights, 10 p.m. to midnight. Check us out online. You can watch it live at PelicanSportsTV.com, or better yet, why don't you just download the Pelican Broadcasting app? That way you can take it with you anywhere you go. That's right, the Clarence Bugg Show. Tell you what, oh, wait, gotta run, gotta go, bye.
Welcome back to Exiles TV. Glad to have you along with us on this Tuesday morning. Boy, the fall, I smell this air, I feel the temperature, and it's just like, wow, it's fall. It makes me feel like a kid again.
You feel like a little girl?
No, I feel like a goat. A kid. I want to eat everything
Like
that's in
a
front of me. The only thing, and I'm glad I grew up where I did, up in the frigid north. But the only thing I miss is this time of year, going to a football game where you have to wear a sweater or a light jacket,
maybe a scarf.
Yeah, and no. When you get to that point, no, I'm out. I'm not going to sit on the lakefront in Soldier Field when the temperature is 6 below zero. But you know.
So you weren't one of those snot-sickle Bears fans when you were...
One time. And I was like, this is...
You see that? I remember I actually went to a Buffalo Bills game in Rich Stadium, and it was -3.
Mm-hmm.
-3 in the stadium.
No way to have a good time with
people,
that.
and your nose will drain uncontrollably when it gets that cold, and it just turns into. And if you had facial hair, you would have stuff just hanging off your beard. It's really not a good look.
No, I'm talking about the 45, 55, where it's crisp, but you're not freezing to death. But see, we used to go watch Northwestern. We used to occasionally get on the train and go to Notre Dame. Mm-hmm. And then Wisconsin, when they were playing in Madison, from where I lived, that was only a 75-minute drive. You know, going to see University of Illinois back in those days was not worth the trip because they were the doormat of the Big Ten. But yeah, I do miss going to football games when the weather is crisp and cold and cool. You know, that's the one thing I miss.
You ever go on a hayride in the autumn?
Oh God, yeah.
Hayride in the autumn, corn maze. Bob for apples.
Bob for apples, yeah.
Which is not strictly a Halloween thing, by the way. Bobbing for apples.
Yeah,
it's kind of an autumn.
We used to do all that. We used to call it sweater weather.
Yeah.
And you know, everybody would pull out their sweaters. You know, you waited because going to the big heavy coat is like surrendering.
It's a commitment.
Yeah, you're like, okay, we're in it now.
Parka.
Yeah, and then that's not fun anymore.
And I don't know how you were, but in the late 70s, when I was about done with living in the Northeast, our thing was you wanted to look cool, and there's no way to look cool when you're wearing a parka. Mm-hmm. There's no cool.
No.
There's no such thing as a cool parka. I don't care what the guy's on the street.
No.
So what we try to do is have something cool and be in layers. You know, so what I had somebody's old Air Force overcoat, double-breasted blue wool Air Force overcoat. Real sharp.
Well, that'll keep you warm.
Made sure I took all the Air Force stuff off of it because people don't like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that overcoat was pretty good, but sweaters and layers of clothes under the overcoat were the secret.
I knew I wasn't fit for winter in the frigid north anymore when I had to start wearing a hat so I wouldn't freeze right around the 1st of October. Mm-hmm. I am not fit for that anymore.
Well, we have several beautiful days ahead of us. There is a low-pressure system down there off the Yucatan Peninsula, about a 50% chance of something happening with it by way of developing into a named storm. but that's days and days away before we even need to be concerned with it. So relax, enjoy the week, enjoy this beautiful weather.
And join us tomorrow morning for our Facebook Live cast from La Divina. That's going to kick off a few minutes after 8 a.m. And then right here on this channel, State Treasurer John Schroeder joins us. So thanks for being with us today. Remember the replay at 10. Until then, bye-bye.
God bless. Take care.